how it divvies up. You know what I'm saying? I swear to God, selling drugs in high school has taught me a lot about business and how shady people are with money. And this is no shade to anyone. This is just everyday stuff. I mean, you guys know you work anywhere. People are shady with money. So it's time to really start just managing my own funds and my own content and taking it to the next level and the just the vision that I have for the Dre Day podcast. It's gonna be like what I always wanted the podcast that I used to be on to be. You know what I mean? I was always such a big Howard Stern fan. Like, you guys have no idea what my vision is for this podcast. It's gonna be fucking gold. It's gonna be fucking gold. It's gonna be so fucking entertaining. I honestly believe I'm gonna be doing stuff too on Patreon that I can't upload to YouTube because if I did, I would get canceled. So I'm gonna upload it behind a paywall. This really, not even offensive. I don't even want to say it's offensive, but just really, really, I don't even want to say edgy. Just real stuff. The real stuff is gonna be behind Patreon, but still the real stuff is still gonna be on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And I feel a little silly. Yes, Mish. I feel a little silly talking about it because it's not even out yet. But like I said, I just want to plant the seed. To you guys because you guys, what I've noticed and what's great from the podcast that I was on is that you guys fucking love me. You know what I'm saying? And I say that humbly. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, you guys know me. You guys know practically everything about, or almost everything about me. There's a lot of stories that I have not told on that podcast. You know what I mean? Because I just didn't get the airtime to, and let's be honest, anytime I would tell stories, it wasn't really told in the best way, in the best format because of this or that situation, people interrupting, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be honest, I never really felt comfortable in that studio. Something about that studio, the bright lights. It's a very nice studio, but sometimes I just felt a little uncomfortable. So I'm going to have my own studio and, but that is what I've realized, and that is why I'm going to start the Dre Day podcast in the next week or two, because you guys really know me. You guys really know me. You guys know a lot about me. I don't want to say everything, but you guys know a lot about me, and for that, I think it's really cool. I think it's really, really fucking cool. And, it's one of those things, real recognizes real, I would do anything for you guys, and it seems like you guys would do anything for me, and that's a goddamn happy marriage, That's a goddamn happy marriage. So, at the end of the day, I'm thankful for all the opportunities that it gave me. But, I was the B side. Now it's time for me to be the A side. To be the fucking A side. It's time for me to be the A side. What do you want to Dre Day podcast? I don't know if I would have that opportunity. I don't know, David. That would be good promotion. That would be good cross promotion. But I don't know if I'll be given that opportunity. But hopefully the YouTube algorithm blesses me. Hopefully the YouTube algorithm blesses me. You know what I mean? Hopefully the YouTube algorithm blesses me, There's no beef with anybody. I don't have beef with anybody in this game, I don't have beef with anybody on this planet. I don't take anything personal. This is a short life, So, but I'm just excited, man. I'm really excited. I'm looking into the equipment right now. And whether it's going to be a video podcast, I don't know. I think that would be smart, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, what do you guys think about a video? When you guys listen to podcasts, let's take a little survey here, a little small survey. When you guys listen to podcasts, do you watch it or do you just leave it on? Or do you just leave it on with the video and kind of walk around the house and do some cleaning, or do you drive into work and listen to it, or do you listen to it on the train in your headphones, or you listen to it on a long drive or at the gym? Like, what would you say more? You do both? Both? So I guess you gotta have video. Listen only. You listen only. I listen to podcasts on the go. I would have to be at work or home to watch it. Yeah, see, I'm more of a on the go guy. Good for you. Yes, do a video podcast. See, I guess everyone's both. It's you know what? You know what? When it comes to business, it's good. It's good to have options. So, but I will say, just like the Howard Stern show back in the day, when it's audio only, I think it is a little bit better because your imagination takes over and you start picturing what is happening in the room and how everything looks like. And what you're picturing tends to be better than what is actually reality. You know what I'm saying? So we will see with that. But I have big visions for the podcast. Dre Day podcast, baby! Yeah, so I got big visions, and I can't wait to show you guys. Again, I am no longer on Goffey's podcast. You know what I'm saying? As of this week, I still listen to Howard. Yeah, Howard's great. Howard's great. And this podcast is going to be the Howard Stern of podcasts. Watch. You know what I'm saying? This is a sneak peek. Everything I'm telling you is I'm not even supposed to be putting it out there. But when you come to my Instagram live, I want to give you something exclusive. See, when you join me live in the moment, I think you should be rewarded with some type of exclusivity. Whatever. Fuck it. Whatever. Some exclusive shit. You know what I meant to say. I think when you know what I'm saying? So, I will be announcing that soon. On my page. I'll make a video of it. But, you know, like I said, it's time for me to be the A-side. It's time for me to be Batman. You know what I mean? No longer will I be Robin. You know what I mean? I'm Batman. You know what I mean? I'm the Dark Knight. Like I said, a couple podcast networks wanted to sign your boy to a 6-month to a year contract. But you know, after looking at the fine line and the numbers, it was all sweet. But there's a reason they want to sign you. It's because they want a piece of the pie. So that is what's up with that. And podcasting is very important. Well, congrats. And I know you guys are going to listen. I know you guys are going to sign up for my Patreon. You know what I mean? For exclusive content that's you won't be able to find anywhere else. You know, I know you're gonna do all that because you guys are loyal. You guys obviously fuck with me. You guys feel a connection to me that I totally understand. You know, real recognizes real. You know, and you guys also have the same sense of humor as me, which is amazing. The internet is so crazy. So, tonight I am at the King's Theater in Brooklyn. Seats 3,200 people. That's going to be nice. That's going to be very nice. And, yeah. So I guess I'm going to have to buy some cameras. You are leaving in Godfrey We Trust. That's right, Max. I'm starting my own podcast very soon. You know what I'm saying? It's time for me to be the A-side, Max. It's time for me to be the goddamn A-side. You know what I mean? Nothing but respect. You know what I mean? Because it introduced people like you to me. Introduces people like me to you. So that's great. And I'm going to bring you guys over to me. And you're going to see, listen, it's not a competition, but you're going to see that I know what good radio is. I know what good podcasting is. I have a very good sense of what is entertaining and what is not, what is redundant and what is not. Okay? Let's be honest. I don't want to say anything specific, but you don't want to hear the same things over and over again when you listen to a podcast. You know what I'm saying? You gotta spice it up. You gotta spice it up. You know what I'm saying? So, listen. As as far as I'm concerned, I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started with the whole podcasting thing. You know what I mean? Um, I'm thankful because I've been on it for 3 years, and I got to see how the sausage is made. You know what I mean? But now it's time for me to make my own sausage and start eating my own sausage. You know what I mean? Start shoving a lot of sausages down my throat. You know what I'm saying? So listen, at the end of the day, it's all about sausages. You know what I mean? You just gotta really just, you know what I mean? So you gotta just really, that's what podcasting is like. It's just like a big fat sausage that you just gotta like, sometimes you choke on it because it's so big. But at the end of the day, it's juicy, it's nice, it's hot, it's simmering, it just goes down your gullet really good. And you know what? At the end of the day, whatever it is, whatever you eat, it's gonna come out of your ass, it's gonna go in your ass, whatever. So it was very much the same tune, sausage. Look at this, everyone's waking up now. Jay knows exactly what you're talking about. Jay knows exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. The same things. Chill, pause. Wow. So, you know, the podcast is a lot like that. My N word. When will you come in? We need your style comedy to. I got an LA date. I think February 12th. I will let you know if it's confirmed. But LA, I'm coming. And San Diego, I'm coming there too. The Comedy Store in San Diego, I'm headlining Wednesday, January 19th. That's right, baby. If you're near San Diego, and if you're in LA, you could come to that. But you might as well wait for the LA date, which is going to be a month after that. When did I know I wanted to leave? It's to be honest with you, Breezy. It's been like this for a while, you know. And I think you can tell from the podcast, I was just mentally checked out. You know, I just it was just a lot of things, just a lot of, and this isn't even shit talking. You know, I would say this to him. You know, it was just a lot of the same things that were said over and over again. You know what I mean? A lot of the same. Exactly, Breezy. You can tell. You know what I mean? And the interesting thing about the camera is that, especially a video camera, is that people can see on screen through a camera exactly how you feel, if you're lying, if you're genuine, if you're sincere. People can tell that exactly what you're feeling. That's the interesting about the camera. I've always found it is transparent, Breezy. And it was apparent for a while, Clash. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Vitamin Junkie. And, you know, it's been like this for a while, and it just started boiling up. And, you know, it was just a lot of the same stuff, a lot of the same stories, a lot of the same talk about race. And you know, I'm not saying I'm not down for the cause. You know, you guys know me. I'm down for the cause. I'm down for people's rights. I'm down for what's right. I'm down for justice. I'm down for equality. I'm down for diversity. I'm absolutely down for world peace. I am all of that. You know, you guys know that. And you know, it's a tricky subject where if you kind of feel how I feel, but you know, I was in a certain position where we were talking about the same thing a lot over and over again. And if you say that, then people take that as then you're not down for the cause. But you guys know that couldn't be further from the truth, you know. And there's also a lot of fans of the podcast. Not a lot, but there was a percentage of the fans of the podcast that were just way too, I don't know, just way too, like, I don't even know how to describe it, man. Just way too angry with race. You know what I mean? I enjoy the podcast, but they should honestly. Yeah, I agree. It was just some of the fans were so it's one of those things. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, they were just so race angry. You know what I mean? Just anything. There was a lot of views that I didn't really agree with. You know, a lot of views that I didn't really agree with. They would call it passionate, LOL, and you know, there's a lot of viewpoints that I didn't agree with. I mean, you know, for example, I'm a brother who is exhausted with all the race talk everywhere. Yeah, exactly, Calvin. You know what I mean. I mean, you know, I would imagine whatever race you are, and that's the thing. You could talk about any subject for a long time, and you're gonna get tired of it. I mean, we could talk about sex for hundreds of episodes, and you'd be like, "All right, we get it. Sex. You stick your dick in, you fucking, you hump a girl, you come, and it's over. How much more can you break down sex?" I mean, that's the thing about topics. You know, it's no matter what you talk about. If you talk about it enough, especially with the same people, you're gonna get tired of it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's race, sex, dating, food. I mean, after a while, I mean, you can only talk about its topic for so long. You know what I'm saying? We love a short king when it becomes boring. Yeah, and that becomes with anything. You know what I mean? You can talk about science, blah, blah, blah. After a while, you're like, all right, we get it. Like, fucking, Jesus Christ, you know? And there were just a lot of viewpoints that I also didn't agree with, that I would just stay silent on. A lot of viewpoints where I felt really uncomfortable, almost being associated with, because even if I was silent, people still associate you with it because you're sitting right there. You know what I mean? So with stuff like that, and you know, again, there's no beef, there's no shade. At the end of the day, I'm thankful because it introduced me to you guys, and it introduced you guys to me. And you guys obviously felt a connection to me, and I feel a connection to you guys. We both have the same sense of humor. I mean, that's why you guys fuck with me, and that's why I fuck with you guys. You know, you guys know a lot about me. I wouldn't say everything, but you know a lot, and so I'm thankful for that. I mean, there are positives. There's a lot of positives, but after a while, it's just one of those things where the negatives they were boiling over, and after a while, you guys can tell that I was you should have explained how you felt. Maybe things changed at the same time. It was a good thing that you left. I hope he brung you out to try out or mentioned you for Wildin' Out. No, none of that happened. But I would express my I don't want to say frustration, but my just tiredness of some of the same subjects, you know, and I would express these things. I'm not hearing what I'm hearing. I'm not hearing what I'm hearing. I would express this stuff, I would. But, you would hear it out, and then it's in one ear, out the other ear. Did you guys fall out? I wouldn't say there was a fallout, maybe not on the greatest terms right now, but at the end of the day, that's my man, $100,000, and I'm a very loyal dude to the end. This is a short life, and like I said, there's no need to have any type of solace with anybody. I don't have beef with anybody on this planet. I don't take anything personally, from anybody. Somebody could punch me in the face right now, and I wouldn't even take that personally, because that's the best thing that could happen in that moment. That's how I look at life. It's no longer the show was fun. Whenever it should get like the Fox guy talking, you gotta fix the problem, move forward. Should have been the focal point when you answered. I call us up so I can tell he was aggravated by it. You got beef with me. I got beef with Joey Gambardella. That's who I got beef with. I think you should give it time and space, maybe in the year to find a way to work together on another project. So, thankful for explaining that, Godfrey. Yeah, so, I mean, everything's good with me. I mean, I am no longer part of the show, and that's completely fine with me. I knew it was the right decision when I felt a sense of relief that I'm no longer on the show. There were times I'd be on the show and I'd be just counting down the minutes till the show is over, and that's when it's time to go. When you're at your quote unquote job, if you want to call it that, and you're just counting, you're just kind of looking at the clock, hoping. It almost reminded me of high school. You know what I mean? Remember in high school, you watch the clock tick, and you're watching the second hand move. And once it crosses that 12, ding, you're like, yes, get the fuck out of here. And the past was that last view, Alex, that's when it's work, not fun. That's the thing all the best songs came at least. So, I mean, do I feel like, maybe I do feel like I'm telling you guys this too soon, because the Dre Day podcast, which will be coming out in the next 2 weeks, the Dre Day podcast is not even out yet. But like I said, when you come on my Instagram Live, I want to reward you with some exclusive news. You know what I mean? I want to reward you with some real stuff. And that's why you guys are connected to me, because I'm so real with my dating stories. I'm so real with a lot of my stories that I tell that happened in my past. And you can feel it's real. You can feel it's genuine. And when you are so genuine with the people on mic, in any situation, people feel connected to you. And that's why you guys are connected to me, and that's why you guys are so loyal to me, and that's why you guys care about me, and that's why I care about you guys, And, but I know you guys are going to listen to my podcast anyways, so it doesn't even matter. And you guys will see when you listen to my podcast, it'll be a big difference in how I am. Because I'm gonna be the A side, you know what I mean? So, but there was a lot of things I just didn't agree with, the viewpoints and stuff. There's a lot of things, one of the viewpoints was, people talk about interracial dating, people on the show were not the biggest fans. He was not the biggest fan of interracial dating, and I totally did not understand that. I think I'm gonna have rotating co-hosts. I totally did not understand just the hatred for interracial dating. At the end of the day, this is America and it's a melting pot, and I just think it's weird to just shit on somebody because they have a white counterpart, a white boyfriend or a white girlfriend, or so, you know what I mean, or a non whatever they are, the opposite of them, opposite sex of them is, or the same sex is not the same race. I always thought that was a weird, you know what I mean? I just don't know. I don't care who people date. It's none of my business who you date. It's none of my business who you date. I don't. So it was just stuff like that. Exactly, Miss T. You know what I mean? There's a lot of contradictions too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just stuff like that just didn't sit right with me, and because listen, there's a lot of beautiful people on this planet. I'll see you later, Vitamin. There's a lot of beautiful people on this planet, and And when you feel a connection with somebody that's not your race, and you are deeply in love with them, and then you're with them for years, and then you have somebody telling you that, kind of like almost mad that you're going out with somebody that's not your race. I just think that's wrong, you know? Doesn't that seem wrong to you guys? You know, if two people are madly in love with each other but they're different races, whose business is that? Who are you to tell them that's not, you know what I'm saying? Who are you to say that's not right? So, at the end of the day, I won't be talking about any of this stuff on my podcast. You know, I just think I'm honestly exhausted of talking about race for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? I'm just so tired talking about white people or hearing about people talk about white people, and I'm just exhausted. You know what I mean? So, something to say. I feel like it's a disciple. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of... I mean, if it's interesting, I'll talk about it, but if something happens in the news, I'd like to talk about it, but even then, I just don't... I don't know. I like telling stories. I like talking about the little things in life. Although I thought I was the only one. You know what I'm saying? It just gets too serious when you talk about that stuff. You know, and there's a time for serious, but at the end of the day, I'm a comedian, man. I'm just trying to fuck around and make people laugh. Shit, I'm just trying to be silly. I'm just trying to be silly and have conversations that comedians have at diners at 3 a.m. and give people a sneak peek into what that's like. You know what I mean? Trying to give people a sneak peek into the conversations that switched up fast. Exactly. People watch comedians on podcasts to laugh. You know what I mean? So, but when you can't get upset, like, when I call it, Wenches Batajos calling a show with a whole white wife. Does he really? I mean, I didn't even know that. Yeah, Miss T. I agree, Miss T. Miss T and Cricks. I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. You know, and the term bedwenchers, whatever you want to call it, that's such a nasty term to just call people. You know what I mean? To call people that are in love, that are in love with someone. You know what I mean? Don't you think that's so nasty and rude? You know what I mean? I don't think that's appropriate at all. You know? If you're in love with someone and someone calls you a bedwencher, I don't know if that that just doesn't seem right to me, you know, but again, maybe I'm different. I don't know. Thankful for the friendship of Godfrey. Solid. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know about Ty Jones. Oh. Ooh, playing the King's Theater tonight. Playing the King's Theater tonight, boy. Oh, I gotta clean up. Clean up. Everybody clean up. Yeah, I should probably... Yes, check Ty Jones' Instagram. And that's fine. That's totally fine. Any person that stick to their own race should be the loneliest people. That's hilarious. Yo, y'all want to suck my dick? Imagine. Peace. I'll see you on Dre Day and IG. I'll see you. Thank you. Oh. For trust. So that is that. Again, San Diego Comedy Store. I will be headlining Wednesday, January 19th. The Comedy Store in San Diego.